Hey, so g'day everybody. Sorry, it's been a while. Unfortunately, yes, some of these videos I've had to do a bit of editing. The other one that I recently published with the motor test bench and stuff, and that takes a bit of time and detracts from my enjoyment of making these videos. But the printer test, the Bambu printer test ones, have been totally unadulterated. Me bitching and complaining about the problems I've had with that. So the last video I gave you was the one where I was pulling apart the automatic material feeder thingy. That's all working good now. So, and I did promise you a bit more of a review of the entire system. And I'd like to start with saying I got an absolutely phenomenal print out of that machine on the first try. Okay, I unboxed it, set it all up, and really I can't complain. This is actually the best I've ever seen. I was so happy I wanted to rush out and buy my own. Okay, and then things started to spiral out of control. I'm not on a network out here. I like my security, and when I am on a network, I've got a range extender that I use. So I like printing from this computer to the printer, either on the network here locally or on SD card. And in this case, SD card. SD card. And another one, and another one, and another one, and the whole lot of the things. It wouldn't work. It just didn't read them. Every time I put in there it said no SD card. You push the button to format, it says no SD card detected. That went on and on and on. I couldn't get anything to work on the SD card. Couldn't get the app to detect it on the local network even when I put it in LAN mode, which I thought it was supposed to do. Today I actually read something that said something about connecting to it with the phone and going into incognito, but that didn't seem to work unless it was on the same network, and the phone wasn't on any network. So again, not sure. In the end, bit the bullet and connected up the range extender as just an extender. Everything passed through, no local network. Connected to the cloud, logged into the Bambu Lab slicer. What's it called? The I don't know what it's actually called, but the program on the computer, and logged in the printer with the phone through the cloud and the internet. And now if I send my models to China, have them check it, maybe Xi Jinping will get to have a look at it, he might like some of the things I make, then it'll come back and it'll go into the printer and I can print it. And then I can go to the printer and hit the go button as many times as I want. It'll keep printing that same one again in one of the slots. I haven't got the SD card. Well, sort of didn't have the SD card going at that stage then. Second problem I had was the instructions tell you to put the filament in. So, word of caution for the new player, when you put the filament in, when it says to... Hang on, what's happened? Yeah, when it says to put the filament in, place it in, it'll start to draw in. Nothing happens. There's a little thing that tells you to push, there's an obvious little grey thing to push. So you push that, it's still nothing happens. You've actually got to jam it in there pretty hard. When you do that, everything starts whirring, and then it takes over and it loads. So that was eventually sorted out. I was almost going to just feed it in through the filament feeder on the back as if it was a single roll. Thought there might have been something wrong with the AMS. You've just got to be a bit more forceful with it. So happy with that. Wasn't happy with the automatic changeover when it retracted the PLA that it was supplied with, and it was switching over to the PAHF carbon. It had a problem retracting. Something melted, jammed up, not sure what, but it got a blob of stuff stuck in there, and I had to pull that all apart. You saw the video of that. That's working fine now. I've got all the filaments feeding through again. And then, after getting a lot of grief from people on Reddit when I asked about the SD card issue and I asked about service, they all told me that I was quite silly for buying the printer, knowing full well that Bambu has very bad service. Yes and no. When you buy something in Australia, there's a requirement that it's fit for purpose when they sell it. So it's not working, it's broken. I should be able to contact somebody locally and send it back. It was bought in from an Australian warehouse with Australian dollars. It was shipped next day kind of thing. There's something going on there, but unfortunately not able to contact anybody. Nobody to contact. Filled out a service ticket. That was hard enough to find. They have an AI chatbot that can't help you with anything, and it tells you to go to the service, fill out a service ticket thing. And that service ticket thing is actually in Bambu, China. It's not even here. So I'm not holding my breath for that. Anyway, somebody was kind enough to direct message me on the subreddit and said that he had exactly the same problem, and he bought the SanDisk Ultra 32 gigabyte from Officeworks, and he said it worked out of the box. So I thought I'd do it. Lo and behold, it worked. He put it in the printer, it formatted, it saw it, it worked. It was great. When I put it in the PC, it said that the disk has problems. Do I want to fix? Now, the person who told me to get this was actually kind enough to also tell me when it asks you that, don't. Because he did that and then it didn't work in the printer again anymore. So I used that card. I actually printed a few things on the on there of my own from the slicer without having to go via China. So very happy that worked. And then it stopped reading that card. I'm on the second one now, so we'll see. I've taken all the printer, packed it all up, taken it to work, and we're using it at work. At work, all connected to the internet. We're just using the cloud for now. It's all printing great. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get one. It's a lovely toy. It's an expensive toy. Does great prints. I wanted to compare. Here's something that I print on the on my Tron XY that's running here behind me, which is currently drying some desiccant. And this was the same print on the Bambu. Now, unfortunately, this was PLA, this is PETG, so the textures are a little bit different. I'm not sure if you can see it, but what you can see there is that, there we go, there's not much in it. This is probably a bit nicer, and probably if I printed this at 0.15, because I think I might have done this one at 0.5, I don't think I did it at 0.2, it'll probably be a lot cleaner. But where it fails, you can see here straight away on the Tron, I've got problems with belt or something, and you can see it's got a lot of undulations in that surface. And on here, the only undulation you get are from the what's underneath the infill on there. So again, this is beautiful. Okay, I'm really happy. Look at that. Really happy with that result. But in terms of a $200 printer and a $2,000 printer, yeah, I could buy 10 of these. That said, I hadn't thought about that before. I was going to say this was amazing because it was over twice as fast. I think on the what have they got? The ludicrous mode that came out in under an hour, and this took about 3. So speed was definitely a thing. Best thing though still is none of this bed leveling that I have to do. I have to check on this printer. So really happy with that. You just hit go every time. The bed leveling is perfect on that. I was looking at the P1-S today. It doesn't have the LiDAR. Now I'm not sure if the LiDAR is even used for bed leveling. I'm not sure if the LiDAR is worth the extra $1,000, because for another $50 you can get the hardened steel extruder. For another $40 you can get the hardened steel hot end. I don't know what else you need between the PS1 and the X1, P1S, sorry. Yeah, I'm just wondering though if there's, if they limit it in software or something, and I'll get it and be disappointed, because there's no way you can send it back. But so yeah, back to that. This one wasn't ever really dialed in. All I did was dry the filament and print. So hey, that prints really nicely, so I'm happy with that. And we had one spaghettification. Now I've since read that it only gives you a warning, it doesn't actually shut it down, but apparently in the new software, in the new firmware, there might be a setting that lets you actually halt on detection. So I need to investigate that a little bit further. Yeah, I think the spaghettification was probably because I didn't put enough glue on the build plate. So maybe I'm a little bit to blame, but I'm unhappy that it didn't do what I expected as advertised. Again, maybe because I was already pretty annoyed that nothing else was working properly. So anyway, packed it all up, took it to work, calibrated, did everything, and I'm happy with it. I am. I mean, would I buy one right now? $2,000 for a toy. There are people on the internet that are doing print farms and stuff. Now, with my engineering business, I could probably use it a bit more. So I'm just going to think about it for a bit and see, maybe they come down in price or something like that in the near future. It's already been out for a year, so I suspect the newer model is probably going to be due soon, which would be nice. So yeah, I think that's enough. You've probably heard enough of me rambling on about that printer, but that's where we at. I haven't really got anything to show you except the print results and that hassle with the SD card. I'm on the second one now. It seems to be working okay, and I'll keep you posted if I have any more problems with that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like, hit that like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.